Okay, so John, what do you think the main reason of Findhorn Foundation closing?
Oh, well, it seems like the main reason is simply financial.
Mm-hmm.
And Findhorn has always had trouble financially, or difficulty financially, but I think what's happened is that with the COVID-19 and not having any guests during that time, it's probably reduced the financial capacities of the foundation, and so they're finding that they have to stop for a time being, or they have to reorganize things so that they can keep going. But you know, I don't know how they'll do that, and I guess we'll have to wait to find out.
But the Findhorn Foundation has been struggling all the time, as long as I remember. But
Yeah.
they survived. And
Yeah.
why now it will be ending? I don't really understand.
Well, I think what they're saying is that the situation has become more difficult, more extreme.
Yeah.
Because of COVID-19, there was a period of 2 years when they just didn't have any income at all.
Mm.
So it's not really surprising that they've come to the point of saying, well, what are we going to do? You know, and during that time, they also made some changes to the way that they taught classes. I think they were getting people from outside to teach classes, and that's probably not going to work anymore, paying those people. So they've really got to, seems to me, they've really got to reorganize things completely. And that'll take time.
And also we had 2 fires in the park.
That's the other thing, yeah.
Yeah.
The fires certainly didn't help.
Mm.
Yeah. So, yes, pretty much all I have to say on that. I have to wait and see and get more detail as to what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't see Findhorn Foundation proceeding in its normal or in its old way if we don't have people coming for classes, because that's the main source of income.
So what should they do? What they have to do?
Well,
Mm.
what do they have to do? I think that they have to go back to the beginning
Mm-hmm.
and start all over again. Go back and invoke the spirit of Peter, Eileen, and Dorothy. And
Back to the beach of Findhorn.
Yeah.
With
And when I say start all over again,
yeah.
I mean I don't mean really restart, but regenerate that situation that was there when there were mainly just Peter, Eileen, and Dorothy, plus a few other people.
But we don't have founders anymore. What we can do?
Well, maybe what we've got to do, or Findhorn has got to do, is draw together the people who can act as the new founders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How that's going to be done, I don't know. But maybe somebody will have to, or they'll have to meditate, they'll have to ask what to do and find out what to do.
So the financial situation of Findhorn Foundation is more serious than we think.
Apparently, yes.
Mm.
Yeah. I think the situation, of course, is that their main assets are mortgaged. And if they can't pay their mortgages, those assets will be taken. So they've got to stop and get to the position where they can protect those major assets like Cluny Hill. But I don't know how they're going to do that at this stage.
That email said they will fire 40 people.
So say that again.
They will fire 40 members.
Or ask 40 members to leave, so they're not paying.
Yeah.
Yes. Where do you get that from?
It's in the email, I think they say.
Ah.
And I as long as I know, some people are going back to Findhorn since COVID-19 was settled, but they have to leave again.
Yeah, because of the financial situation. Yeah.
It's so sad.
Well, it's sad, but the way I look at it is that you can also say it's a new start. But the main thing is that the deep spirit of Findhorn, that won't change.
No.
How that comes out, what form it takes, is another question. But I'm absolutely convinced that the spirit of Findhorn, the magical spirit of Findhorn, will remain. If for no other reason.
In what way the spirit of Findhorn can remain?
Well, it remains in me, for starters. And I think it remains in you. It remains in a lot of people, that spirit.
So it remains only in the people's heart and not in reality.
Not in reality. Well, I mean, for me, it's a very real situation. I've had my wonderful experiences at Findhorn, which changed my life. And I think, as I said to you once before, I carry Findhorn with me wherever I go because of those experiences. I mean, spiritually speaking, I don't have to believe anything. I already know because of the experiences I've had at Findhorn. I'm not, I want to go on seeking, but the seeking I have done at Findhorn has resulted in some knowing. And all I did in order to find the things was simply go to Findhorn and be there and take part in Findhorn. Become part of that wonderful community. And that's what's got to be re-established, even if it's only a small community. It has to be started again, that wonderful community that lives a full, simple life, opens itself, people open themselves to spirit, and spirit tells them or conveys to them what they need to do, as it did to Eileen and Dorothy and Peter. So in a way, you could look at it as a refreshment of Findhorn, a renewing of Findhorn. That's the way I look at it anyway. I mean, it seems bad. What's happened seems bad. But one thing I've learned in life, and Findhorn basically taught me this, is there's no such thing as a good thing and a bad thing. There's just what is. And spirit is there with just what is.
Yeah. I had a intuition when Dorothy passed away. She was the last members or founders. And that is, I felt that was the end of the period. And I mean, Dorothy was the last person, and she supported spiritually. She supported the foundation spiritually. And after she passed away, we lost the support of founders. And, you know, I don't want to blame anyone, but recently they hired the person who have never been the members of Findhorn Foundation. And that is one of the reasons it happened. That's my understanding. What do you think?
What, that the Findhorn has arrived at the current
The
place
CEO
it's in?
of Findhorn Foundation is not the people within the community.
Yeah.
They invited someone from outside.
Yeah. No, I don't think that can work. I think that just doesn't work. The people who need to teach at Findhorn, to organize groups and to lead groups, have to live within the community and be part of the community, because it's that essential thing, that community, that is the basis of Findhorn. And if you're bringing people in from outside, contracting people from outside to do teaching, they are not part of the community of Findhorn. And that's what's important. That's the first thing that's important. I mean, you go back to the very beginnings of Findhorn, Peter, Eileen, Dorothy, and a caravan, in a caravan park. And it started as just 2 and then 3 people and then a few more, but it was always a community of people living together, working together, meditating together, listening to spirit together. And that's the fundamental thing that makes Findhorn what it has been.
Yeah.
And what it still is, in my view. So how to get to that point again, where it's real community, everything is real community, all the work, the being together in every way. It's based upon a community of people living together and living a very simple, full life.
Yeah, someone who I used to talk with a few years ago said he didn't like Findhorn asked outsourcing. Some education program was outsourced.
Yes.
And he didn't like it.
Well, no, I think I just said that the problem there is that if the people who are teaching the courses are not part of the community, they can't and don't have the spirit of the community and really know the community and feel the community, feel what it means to live together, be together, work together, eat together, all of those things. If they don't have that, whatever they're doing in terms of teaching or whatever else they might be doing doesn't come from the fundamental, really important part that Findhorn, the basis of Findhorn. the foundation of Findhorn.
So what do you think? What to do to improve the situation?
Well,
What can we do?
what do I think?
Yeah.
Well, I think in common with every other situation that I've experienced in Findhorn, no one person can solve the problem. What it needs to do is a whole group of people need to come together with different talents, different abilities, but with one common thing in mind, to restore the Findhorn Foundation as a community. That's the key thing. Restore it as a community, with people coming from all over the world, being together, working, playing, just living a full, simple life together. That's the basis of the community. And then you bring in.
But that is already broken.
The way has to be found to go back to the fundamental of Findhorn and start again.
How?
And well, Eileen used to get communications from Spirit as to what to do. And things may change at all of the levels of ordinary life. Things may change, as they have with COVID-19 and all that sort of thing. But that spirit remains. So the key thing to do is to go back to that contact with Spirit that the founders of Findhorn had. And that's always the important thing. And that contact, and to me, the fact that Findhorn has, if you like to say, been broken, or its current form isn't working, means that it has to change. But how it would change will be shown, defined by contact with Spirit. It won't be done by thinking about it.
Okay.
Because that just doesn't, that's very too limited. That would be my suggestion anyway.
Okay.
Is that there's that Findhorn concentrates on getting messages from Spirit, opening to Spirit, and starting again.
Thank you very much. It was very shocking news, so
it is.
I don't know what to do.
But it seems shocking, but all change, all
yeah, everything is changing.
Seems shocking.
Yeah.
All real change, so the change that happens that at a big level does seem shocking, but it may be absolutely necessary.
Can be.
From a spiritual point of view, it may be absolutely necessary. Maybe as a result of bringing in people from outside who have no real connection with Findhorn Foundation to do things like teaching and so forth. The thing was broken when that happened. So that has to be put aside and a start made where it's understood how people, and under what circumstances people are going to come to Findhorn. That the classes, for example, have to somehow resume. Maybe they would resume by being online, for starters.
Yeah, they are doing online class already.
Yeah. But online, but classes online.
But they say they will stop all activities. It means online classes will be stopped.
Okay. Well, whether that means that they're now going to meditate and contact spirit to find the way forward, or I think what they're saying is that they're going to do something like that, because they're not saying Findhorn's collapsed, that's the end of Findhorn, goodbye. They're not saying anything like that. They're saying,
yeah, they use other expression, but the fact is that it's the end of Findhorn. That's all. That's my understanding.
that's your feeling.
Mm.
Yeah, well,
That's why I was shocked.
yeah. I don't think it. I don't think it is the end of Findhorn.
They say
may
it's
be-
end of the Findhorn.
It
And
it may
we
be
can
the
say anything in words, but the fact is not changed. We can't change the fact.
well, I guess none of us knows what's going to happen.
No. Yeah, I would like to know more in detail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we stop the recording now?
Sure. Yes, of course.
Thank you for talking.